The Dallas Cowboys just beat the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad roster. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles lost to the Dallas Cowboys 51-26 in a monstrous game. A game where the Eagles weren't going to play any starters in this game today. They didn't. I mean, their offensive line was backups, more deeper than backups. They had a fifth-string running back, a backup quarterback, an offensive line that just, for somewhat actually played pretty well. They actually ran the ball down the Cowboys' throats for a good amount of time. And it was only a matter of time before the Cowboys adjusted and did some things, okay? The Eagles' defense was strictly backups to fifth, sixth-string practice squad players. At safety had Sasir and Kevon Wallace, which are fourth and fifth-string safeties. Linebacker, you had 59. I don't even know who that guy is, okay? You had Zach McPherson that just got drafted this year, okay, at cornerback. You had Josiah Scott, which he's a fifth, sixth corner at one point. Hassan Ridgeway, that's a backup. And obviously Milton Williams, Tyree Jackson that are rookies this year. Kerrigan, that's just horrible. He's got 3 tackles for the year. That's how bad Kerrigan's been all year. And then when you face the Cowboys defense, no Trevon Diggs, no Anthony Brown, and no Curse. Okay? And still had Randall Gregory and the rest of that defensive line. Okay? Intact. Cowboy fans want to complain and talk about they had Trevon Diggs and Micah Parsons out and Curse out and Anthony Brown. Whoa. Let's relax now. Let's relax. It was, 17-17, second quarter, whatever it was, and the Eagles were just running down. I mean, Dallas cannot be this comfortable. The fans cannot be this comfortable. All they care about is winning the division, which they did, and putting 50 points on us. What was it, 90? They put, 90-something points the past 2 games? Week 3 of the season, guys, we literally had no identity. This team, back in the day, back earlier in the season, week 3, we had Jordan Howard on practice squad. Nick Sirianni could not play call worth of anything. And Jalen Hurts' mechanics were god-awful beginning of the season, okay? This team had no identity. This team will be more prepared if there is a wild card game between the Eagles and the Cowboys, if there is a rematch once more. I don't even care that they swept us, guys. I can care less about it. Okay, there's going to be Cowboy fans in the comment section saying we're scared and blah, blah, blah. I mean, they overachieved this game. I mean, they were like they won the Super Bowl in this game. They literally were celebrating like 5 touchdown passes from Dak Prescott today. They didn't even sit Dak Prescott in this game until the beginning of the fourth quarter. I mean, they played Dak Prescott through almost 4 quarters. I mean, that's how pathetic it is. You know what I mean? So at this point, I am beyond happy what they did with this team this week. They had 12 guys on the reserve list after the Washington game, and they sat out everybody. They had Jason Kelsey do 1 snap, obviously play, obviously consecutive starts. They pretty much put him in for 1 play. Devontae Smith broke Deshaun Jackson's rookie record, which was fantastic. He only needed, 30 to 60 yards, whatever it was, and he got it. They pretty much force-fed him the ball, and then they sat him down. But I got to say a few things even about take the Cowboys out of this game. And it's nice to see games like this, all your backups. Then you kind of see, some playmakers, some guys that are doing really well. Other than, obviously, Quez Watkins played really good. You know what I mean? I thought some guys played really well. But I think there's a few that I really have to talk about right now. I think one is Milton Williams. I thought he played fantastic. He was literally giving pressure almost every play. I mean, he did really well. This is our 3rd-round pick. from Louisiana Tech. And let me tell you something. I didn't know, I've seen some flashes from him in this rotation, but man, when you put him out there as a full starter, I mean, he should have had a couple holding calls on him because they were holding the crap out of him all game. But Milton Williams, I'm pretty excited about the future of him to see where he's going to be in this rotation and another offseason going into his second year with the Eagles next year and to see what he does. I'm excited about Milton Williams, for the future of this pass rush. And Milton Williams is definitely a big part of that. Number 2, I think Jason Huntley, man, this guy could run. I knew from like a couple seasons ago, we picked him up from the Detroit Lions practice squad, and we're loaded at running back. Now, depending on what they're doing next week with Miles Sanders, if obviously he's not going to be 100% from his broken hand because his hand's still going to be broken. It's not healed yet. It's not going to happen. Jordan Howard has that stinger that's not as serious, but, even that Washington game, he really didn't have many snaps, so hopefully with as much rest as he's going to have this week, he will play a lot. And then, obviously, Boston Scott. We've been using a lot of Boston Scott because, we've had some injuries to our running backs. But Jason Huntley as a fifth string running back, man, this guy could run. He ran with a beyond backup offensive line practice squad. Brett Toth and Justiga and I don't know who Anderson. I don't know who these guys are. But Jason Huntley, that guy could run. He could run really well. We saw flashes of it, I think, with first year here. There was some, I guess, with Doug, and we had some injuries to the running backs. He had a couple plays. It wasn't much, but he showed some flashes of where he could run between the tackles. Like, he's quick. When he gets to that second level, he could find that open space. And if you're late to getting to him on a certain angle, if you're a linebacker or whatnot, I mean, you're going to have a hard time. Jason Huntley, he's got some skills. Like, he can run. I actually really like Jason Huntley on special teams. Like, they had him on kick return. I take Rager off special teams. Jason Huntley is one of those players where if he's not going to be in this offense, you got to put him on special teams. Like, I think Jason Huntley could really do some damage because, number one, he's going to do automatically better than Rager because he runs forward. He doesn't run sideways. He doesn't run backwards. He doesn't get negative yards in the game. Huntley was tearing him up today. Really good. And shout out to that offensive line for opening all that up for him. But I'm excited for Jason Huntley in the future for him as well. Now, big problem on 2 plays, Aaron Sipos. Oh, my God. This punter, Jesus Christ. I mean, end of the second quarter, he punts to the 50-yard line, and where Dallas only had 40, 30 seconds, something like that in the second quarter where they could have not scored any points, and literally that got them to 30 points. And I think it was 30-17, whatever. I forgot what the score was at that point. But 2 really bad punts. I think one was before the half, and then one was, I think, in the fourth quarter or something like that. I mean, Aaron Sipos cannot do this. I mean, he cannot. He has got to hit these punts. He can't screw. I mean, those plays right there are like automatic scoring for another team because you punt that ball. We're backed into our 10-yard line, 15, something like that. He punts the ball and it's a short punt to midfield, and it took Dallas. Obviously, our cornerbacks were 6-stringers, so I mean, every throw they make was wide open. Every run that they had was they adjusted, and they had enough guys to do it because they had enough starters on the field on both sides because that's what they needed in this game. Okay, you can't punt the ball and mess up these punts because you're just going to give points away. And that's why I'm hoping to God. It's already enough this team has issues in the first half of not doing anything, okay? They got to have bigger and faster starts, and the next problem we do not need is for these punts not to be going past the 50-yard line, okay? That's the big problem I have with Aaron Sipos because really Aaron Sipos has actually played pretty good. Had a really good preseason. We didn't know this kicker was signed very early last year before we hired Nick Sirianni or anything. We had this guy signed for a while, and we didn't know what this guy was going to bring to the table. I thought he played like Australia football. I don't know what he did. He was in another country playing a different sport, or he was doing something. But he played really well. He's been playing good. He's been punting well all season. And I really don't talk about punters that much, but this is important because number one, we have a playoff game. Number two, he cannot kick the ball like that. It just can't happen. So hopefully he knocks some of the rust off. He gets some work this week, and that doesn't happen. So if it was one of the players that I was very surprised that played bad, it was Aaron Sipos, because really I had no high expectation for other players. Obviously, I did a video on Jalen Reagor and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, total trash, that did not even try to do anything with this offense today. Couldn't even produce in this offense today. Quez Watkins was fantastic today. Caught whatever he could get his way, had the screen pass for the touchdown. I think another guy we could talk about is Tyree Jackson. I don't have him up right now, but Tyree Jackson's another guy. Caught the touchdown, the middle screen, caught that for a touchdown. He ended up getting hurt, and obviously it's not an ACL. It was a knee injury, but it's not an ACL, so I think we're good. He's going to have his MRI tomorrow. So I think by tomorrow or Monday, I forgot when they're doing it, probably Monday. Tyree Jackson caught a few balls and did really well. So that's going to be our backup tight end, the Dallas Goedert. That's what I'm hoping. Jack Stall's a really good number 3. They might keep him as well. So Tyree Jackson's got the size. His first year in playing the tight end position, which is fantastic. And this is a guy that I think he played wide receiver, quarterback. I forgot what position he played, but playing tight end for the first time, and he's got the size, he's got the catch radius, and he's got some speed to him too. And he's a nice bruiser because he can cut through guys with the ball in his hands and get some extra yards, which is great. So Tyree Jackson is definitely a name we have to watch out for the future. And this is why in the games like this, where the Eagles didn't put any starters in, they took guys out quickly. I think it was really smart. Jalen Hurts is another story for me because I think he should have had a series or two, but at the end of the day, I didn't care. I just don't want him to have rust going into a playoff game. And obviously, if he has rust, it'll be for a short amount of time. I don't think he will, but I want him for a series or two, not for a half, not for a quarter, but just something really quick. Probably wouldn't have made a difference, but I think, obviously, if he has an ankle injury still, which I don't even know if that's true, if Jalen Hurts has the ankle injury, then obviously they just sit him and let him rest because we need as much of that mobility as possible for the playoffs. So all I got to say about this game is I don't care that we lost. I mean, yes, the only good thing that I wanted a win out of this game was because to get our 10th win. That would have been nice for a little bit of, just how it looked for the season. But it is what it is at the end of the day. We're in the playoffs, and this team had nobody on the field, and the Cowboys took it so serious. They literally were celebrating like they just put it in our face, and we just didn't. Absolutely, I don't even know what I'm trying to even say because they celebrated like they won a championship. I mean, it was crazy. It was just over the top. I was just like, really, like, okay, relax now. You played your starting quarterback through 4 quarters, and you had most of your starters in on both sides of the ball, not just one side, both sides. So, which they won't want to admit, but it is what it is. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. So, some good things to take out of a game like this, some bad things to take out of a game like this. Obviously, you get to see players that you really don't see play that much, to see who really stands out between some of these practice squad guys, and really Tyree Jackson, Jason Huntley, Milton Williams, really guys that I'm pretty excited about for the future. And we'll see what happens. But just want to go over this game with everybody, and yeah, we're ready to go. So we will let you know tomorrow what's going on with who we're playing, and very excited. And that's it. It's time for the playoffs. And we'll see you guys later. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. We cover the Eagles every single day. Don't miss anything. And that's it. So we'll see you guys later. Shake Squad up, follows 5. Peace out, guys. Peace.